Guys, we just hit 1 million and it's like November, and this is not the first time we've done it, but I have absolutely enjoyed the process, and this is probably the first times ever I want to share with you the exact lessons I learned. And by the way, the game of business is very interesting. All you have to do is find someone that is doing something that you want to do and follow their steps. This is exactly what I did. I found the blueprint and it works, and we've replicated it now to 5 practices, and every single practice does really, really well. And now I teach people from all over the world, clinic owners specifically, how they can do the same thing and maybe impact more people in a positive way, and maybe free up more time, make more money, have fun along the way. So please, please, please stay until the end. I have 6 lessons I want to teach you. This last one, I feel like a lot of you may not know what I mean by that, the infinite game. So I want to touch base on that one and expand. But the first lesson. The first lesson I learned is mindset is everything. It's a boring one. No one wants to hear it. But the more I realized that we were hitting some good numbers like 30K a month, 40K a month, 50K a month, 60K a month, I was struggling with this one. I wasn't sure if it's actually possible to hit that 1 million a year mark. And what I realized is that unless you believe that it was possible, no one else would. Unless I knew that my vision would work, I had to believe in it, because no one else would. It's your business, it's your baby. No one cares as much as you do about your business. That meant investing in personal growth, building confidence, staying focused, finding mentors. I've done all the masterminds that you can think of in the chiropractic space. Now I'm having to expand in different areas to make sure that I bring it back to chiropractic, make sure I bring it back to clinic owners that can hopefully take some of the lessons that hyper successful people have also achieved. So mindset, as much as I hate to say is this wishy-washy term, it's really important to understand what drives behavior, what keeps you motivated, and what are some of the people that you can follow in a space where you can feel quite sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just empowered, that is doable. For me personally, I just followed my mentor, and he was like, this is what you do, and this is how you get to 1 million. I did it, and it works. But then you want to start developing your own belief systems, and you want to start developing your own psychology about how to navigate the world in business and in your personal life. And some of my mentors have been people like Tony Robbins. I absolutely love everything he does on mindset. I'm a big believer in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Is it perfect? No. Is it outdated? Some of the methods are. Did it have a massive positive impact on my business? Yes, it did. So the first thing I had to overcome is this mindset barrier of, you know what, it is possible, especially for someone like me, coming from a country where we grew up with not much financial independence at all. Money was just never there. I come from a mindset of scarcity and restriction, and I just had to open up my place of my sort of mentality about what is possible. And for now, it may sound that it's just something like in the air, wishy-washy kind of stuff. You work on your mindset on a daily basis, and you watch what happens to your business. The second point that we learned was systems and SOPs matter. They matter more than you think they do. What I mean by that is scaling to that 1 million isn't just about working harder. It's not just about putting in more hours, and obviously you have to, but it's about working smarter. So we put people and systems in place which were allowing me to scale the business without burning out. I've made a mistake in the past where burnout was a big thing, and in fact today I had a private client call and they said, hey Stefan, I just feel like I have to take 2 weeks off. It's because they haven't found the way their psychology works with their business. They just think it's about working harder, working more hours, working more shifts, doing this, doing that. It's not. It's about finding automation. We found tools and automations. We have workflows. We have very solid procedures in place, and we've put the right people in place in order for my business to rely not just on me. Because if you build a business that relies on you, especially when it comes to delivering the service, marketing, cleaning the place, doing the SOPs, firing, hiring, scaling will feel impossible, and it will be impossible. That's why I've created this KPI success tracker, because I believe that, and by the way, email me, message me, we'll put it in the show notes if you need to, but this has absolutely changed the game for me, my business, and I've used it for such a long time. I've talked about this in many previous videos. If you're not part of our mastermind, this is if you join, this is the first thing I'm going to get you to do, is to know your numbers and the metrics, and then you can do and make business decisions based on the data. You can make data-informed decisions, therefore you don't have to feel burnt out. So systems and SOPs in place are 100% necessary for you to get from that 30 to 50k months, 50 to 75k months, and then what we do now is 75 to 100k months, because these are the things that you'll be able to use to keep people accountable, and you can use your training based on what the data is showing you. So you're basically not crossing the road blind. You know exactly what's happening in your business, what are the weak points, and what you need to work on. The third thing I realized when we started hitting these 1 million a year marks is that you cannot do everything by yourself. You cannot do it alone. I just couldn't have done this alone myself personally, but building a team, investing in my team was by far one of the biggest returns on investment. Especially people that are aligned with your vision, people that are A players, people that want you to succeed because they want to succeed and they're on the same path as you. But hiring the right person and creating that culture of trust, loyalty, collaboration allows you to grow faster than you can ever imagine. I've just given you a very quick overview of how we have teams and meetings and keep people accountable. But again, you can look at this if you're watching YouTube. It's a little bit more difficult if you're following this on a podcast, but we have our weekly meetings. So I was talking to a private client earlier, and we made this little diagram for her business. And so for example, let's say I'm the director here, and let's say I eventually hire a manager. Some of you, this may not be the case. You might have a small clinic, you might not have any teams, but the principles are the same. How do you keep yourself accountable on weekly, on monthly, and on yearly basis? The first thing we do is we will have these one-on-ones with myself, the founder, and my manager. Every Monday, she'll give me the KPIs. I'll look at them, and we'll have a 30-minute catch-up, and we'll say, hey, manager, I noticed that the numbers are dropping, but I noticed that this chiropractor is performing extremely well. However, these two here are really struggling. What can I provide them with to make sure that they perform better and they can help more patients and they feel like they're well equipped? This is really, really important, having these weekly communications. Then the manager, based on what we've discussed, might have a chat with the chiropractors. This could be just showing them the KPIs from the KPI success tracker. It might be just literally 10 minutes a week, just showing them, look, this is what you saw last week. This is how many cancellations you had. These are the people that started care, but these people dropped out. Do you want to give them a call? Having these points of constant communication with a team is something that everyone resists. And until I started to apply this in my practice, we didn't really see this team cohesion. Now it's just beautiful. It's perfect. Well, it's not perfect. We're still trying to refine the processes, but we have processes, and these act as accountability tools. The third thing might be chiropractors catching up on sort of more personal development and more professional development side points. So every Friday we buy pizza, we talk about cases, we talk about what are the wins, what are the lessons from the week, and that's just working really, really well. It keeps the team culture high. It also gives room for vulnerability. If people are really struggling with a specific thing in their practice, then the other more experienced practitioners can help them alongside that. So for me, that's been a game changer. The monthly accountability, we have a whiteboard. More on this in maybe different videos, but this is how we keep everything a little bit more gamified, slightly more friendly, competitive sort of side of the business. So we have a very cool little system for this. And the yearly accountability is a big one. Once a year, we talk about the big dreams, the big goals that people have. It's an annual catch-up with every single team member, and I try to be there, and I try to make sure that I support them, I understand them, because I want to facilitate anything they need to succeed. Think of any type of associate, any type of team member that you have, that they have a mini business within your business, and you guys are all after the same thing. It's to help more people, make some money along the way, and have fun. But you cannot do it alone. So this point number 3 is absolutely critical. Moving to point number 4. And by the way, when I see these things and I just talk about it, it's so easy for you guys to switch off, okay? But what you need to realize is, people pay me thousands of pounds to coach them on this stuff. And I need you to understand there is no magic in business. However, if an idiot like myself can get to 1.1, 1.2 yearly revenue every single year for the last 3 or 4 years, imagine what you can achieve. I'm not special. I just listen to people that have more experience than me, that have done what I wanted to do, and I just stuck with it. There is no magic. So I want you guys to take this seriously, because if you are just living life day by day, you thinking the same thoughts, creating the same behavior, you are going to get the same output. You are going to get the same end result. So I feel like sometimes I'm a lecturer and a little bit like shouting at the camera, but it's because I care about businesses succeeding. There is no reason why, especially here in the UK, people's practices should struggle. I'm no special than you guys, and we see over 110 new patients a month on average every single month. We converted 67 to 70% on day 2. We have about 86 to 90, depending on what month you look at, percentage of people going into maintenance care. This is like the basics. We've got to hit those. And when I spend thousands of pounds on my personal development, and you guys are scared to put 100 quid or 200 quid from your money to invest in yourself, it's potentially what's stopping you from getting to the point where you want to be. And so I do get passionate about this, but it's because I care. In terms of the 4th point, this is a big one. I've actually made another YouTube video on this. So I feel like if you guys are into this and you feel like you are starting to vibe with me on this business and entrepreneurship journey and you want to have a bigger impact, you have to understand something called asymmetrical leverage. I made a video about this. I think it was episode number 8. But a big one to understand is this asymmetry in business. Asymmetrical leverage basically means finding actions that with a small amount of effort or investment sometimes, you create massive returns. For us, one of the biggest things was creating automations that work alongside the team. That can be funnels, that can be email sequences, that can be SMS reminders, that could be softwares, booklets, welcome packs. That was huge. Another big one, again, going back to the the KPI success tracker, was understanding our KPIs so we know where and how to spend money on marketing. Sometimes people think literally today, before I'm recording this YouTube video, I had a call with a client and they're getting like 60 to 70 new patients a month with a team of like 3 people. And I said, you don't have a new patients problem. Why are you bothered about spending more money on marketing? You have a conversion problem. You have a retention problem. So this is why, with her specifically, we're going to focus on those points. Is how do we fix those things? I know that her business is going to double in next year without her doing anything different on marketing or getting more new patients, because that wasn't the problem. But we didn't know that until we had the data. And when you have the data, you can understand that sometimes in business you have these asymmetrical leverage points. So super, super important. I want you to ask yourself the question, where can I apply leverage in my business? Where are these leverage points? Really, really, really important. Point number 5 is focus, focus, focus. This is one of those where distractions are everywhere. Your phone, TikTok, Instagram, shiny objects, new software, new this, new that, you name it. But hitting that 1 million a year mark for us, for me specifically, required ruthless focus. I have all sorts of standards, daily habits, trackers to help me keep myself accountable. But just like some of my guys who are in my mastermind, the Practice Peak Mastermind group, and I keep them accountable, I have people that I've invested in to keep me accountable. It's the same thing. I had to double down on things that really move the needle and just focus on those things. Those could have been serving my clients, could have been refining my service delivery, consistently showing up. The simple things work so well, but you've got to understand, how do you focus every single day? Simplicity beats complexity every time. I wrote this down. Simplicity beats complexity every time. In order for you to keep things simple, you've got to know how to focus on the right stuff. In order for you to know how to focus on the right stuff, you need to know how to focus in the first place. One of the biggest things that I found was I created this habit tracker that is just a simple spreadsheet that has a tick to-dos for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year. And for me, basically now it's virtually impossible not to hit my daily targets, daily goals, daily to-dos, because they're just on this timeline, and I've just automated it within my calendar, and it just works really well. Personally, I've tested Asana, Monday, Trello, Basecamp, you name it, a productivity software, I've tested it. But actually, what I found was the more successful I got, the more simple I kept things. And finally, what is this thing about the infinite game? Well, this journey taught me one thing. It's the importance of staying curious. Whether that's reading books, listening to podcasts, learning from mentors, listening to clients, they teach me a lot. Every bit of feedback and knowledge helped me improve. And what I found was I wanted to play other people's games when I first started as a business owner. And that's fine because they can show you the roadmap. You know, when people join my program, I literally tell them how to get from 0 to 30K a month, from 30K to 70K a month, from 70 to 100. And we have the roadmap and it works. But eventually you need to pick a game to play that you don't really win. There is no end goal. The whole point is to learn how to play games that you like so you can play them forever. And this is the concept of the infinite games. So now I found my passion. My passion is to change the landscape of how health practices impact patients, because if I teach one clinic how to have an amazing business, the ripple effect of that is huge, it's crazy. And that gives me a massive sense of satisfaction, makes me money, and it has a huge impact on the world because we provide value. So without pitching too much, if you are someone who struggles and you want to build your business that is bulletproof, that thrives, that you don't worry about month to month new patients and finances, you think big and you join a group of like-minded individuals, come and join us. I'll put a description in the link. We'll have an interview together so I can see where you struggle. If I can help you, great. If I can't help you, then I'll give you a virtual hug and I'll still give you some value if I can. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you did find it valuable, please hit the subscribe button. I'm on a massive mission to change the landscape of how business is done and help lots and lots of people out there. Peace out.